This is from the Gospel of Luke, the 12th chapter, beginning with the 13th verse. Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the family inheritance with me." But he said to him, "Friend, who set me to be judge or arbitrator over you?" And he said to them, "Take care. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions." Then he told them a parable. The land of a rich man produced abundantly, and he thought to himself, "What should I do? For I have no place to store my crops." Then he said, "I will do this. I will pull down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, 'Soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool, this very night your life is being demanded of you, and the things you have prepared, whose will they be?' So it is with those who store up treasures for themselves, but are not rich towards God." This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. You may be seated. Cindy's right. We just finished our last series, and the new series that we're starting, I Choose Jesus. And it's kind of an interesting title for this series because the scriptures that are in it, and it actually follows the lectionary that follow along, and the scriptures that are in it, they're hard. And it's about what it really means to follow Jesus. Now, a young man has asked Jesus and has said, "Arbitrate between me and my brother. Make him give me my share of the inheritance." And Jesus refuses to do so. But you know, it seems like a fairly reasonable request that I want my share. I just want what's mine. I just want what's coming to me. But what we don't know is if the man who is wanting what's coming to him, we don't know. We're going to presume he's a younger brother. And in this world, an older brother gets a double portion in an inheritance. But there's a reason that double portion for the older brother. It's because the older brother is going to carry greater responsibility, have more expenses because he has more to take care of. We don't know if dad has died and left mom, who's maybe young and going to live for a very long time, to be taken care of. An older brother needs the additional resources to take care of mom and maybe some younger siblings still. We don't know. We don't even know if dad's dead yet, and this isn't maybe another gospel who says, "Just give me what I got coming to me." But you know, one thing we do know is if it's an inheritance, he didn't earn it. So does he really have it coming to him? It's an inheritance. Give me what's mine. And then Jesus tells a parable. And we live in a world where this is a mighty interesting parable. Cindy, could you help me with slides for a minute? Thank you. In this parable, we have a rich man, and he has been so successful that his barns are bursting at the seams. We live in a culture and in a world where we talk about a thing called trickle-down economics, and we apply it to money. We apply it to human rights. We apply it to everything in our world because that's kind of who we are. And if trickle-down economics looks like this. You got your tower of glasses and a bottle of champagne starts pouring in that top glass. And as the top glass fills up and begins to overflow, it flows into the glasses directly below it. And then as they fill up, they overflow and it goes to the glasses below them. Have you ever been to something so fancy that you actually saw this done? It really happens. It really overflows. And then when it gets to the ones at the bottom, it just overflows all over the floor if they don't quit pouring. It is so cool. The thing is, that's not the way it works. Not in human relationships. That's not how it works in the way that we engage with one another in our economics, or in our human rights, or in any of the other things that we apply this theory to. Because what happens is we are like the man who builds bigger barns. He tears down his barns and builds bigger barns. So what do we do in this kind of a system? When the top glass up there gets full and it's filled to the very brim, we build a bigger barn. We substitute under that glass and pour into it a bigger glass. And it gets to be a bigger and bigger glass, and nothing ever. We keep it. We keep it all for ourselves. And if it trickles down at all, it goes to the people directly below. And for the ones directly below, as we get a bigger and bigger glass, they get bigger glasses too. And the only one who can't afford a bigger glass are the people on the bottom, who don't even understand the concept because we're talking about champagne. And Jesus said to him, what does Jesus require of us? What does it mean to say, I choose Jesus? I have to say something. Y'all know that after last night, that it's been, this year so far, we've had 215 days. Do y'all know that? 215 days into this year. And do you know in the United States in 215 days after last night, we've had 251 mass shootings? All done because somebody hates other people. We point to things like mental illness, but we don't take care of that either. And we say that and I'm going to step on toes, and y'all can come and talk to me. I'm only going to be here Monday morning. I've got to go to Houston Monday afternoon. I'll be there. I'll be back by Saturday, and then, email me, okay? Just email me. I grew up in a household that was filled with guns, hunting rifles, handguns. I know how to shoot, and I'm good at it. Okay? My little brother and my cousins, when we would go out to the barn and we would shoot, they would tell me that we were out of bullets, so I would march off all huffy back to the house so they could keep shooting because I outshot all of them. And they didn't want me to take a turn anymore. From a distance with my hunting gun, actually it was with a 22, I could shoot a grapevine in two. I'm good. And I'm good with a handgun too. Don't have any right now, but I'm good. And I'm not wanting And I don't actually know anybody who wants to take away anybody's handguns or hunting rifles. But none of us need assault rifles. Email me. Email me. What we do in our country is we say that if we regulate anything, that what we have done is we're taking away somebody's rights. And instead we say it's about mental illness. But we don't do anything about that either. We won't even with health care let people in our country have enough money to pay for insulin. People are dying because they can't get their insulin. So we won't take care of health care, and we won't regulate assault weapons. And in our country, we have, as a country who in our country is not at war, we have more mass shootings than any country in the world. And we point to people who are not like us anytime it's somebody else, and we say, that's terrorism. And if it's somebody who looks like us, it's mental illness. And I'm sorry, send me an email. That's what you call folks who have so much privilege that it's overflowing and we've just bought us a bigger cup. Because we won't let others have the same privilege of living in safety that we have. I heard somebody tell me the other day, I'm not going to tell you who it was, but somebody told me the other day that one of the reasons we might need assault weapons is so that we can defend ourselves even against our own government, because that's the way the Constitution was originally written. And I got news for y'all. If the police show up at your door or my door, we're law-abiding citizens, and if they arrest us, we know that the system is going to work for us, and we're not worried about it. So you don't need an assault weapon to shoot at the police who have come to arrest you, because you're going to just get out of jail when you call your lawyer anyway. But it's not that way for many people in our country. And we have so much. And like the rich man, we hang on so tightly for fear that if we let go of anything, that we won't have enough. We won't have enough to make it to the end of our life. We won't have enough to protect ourselves. And Jesus tells us to build a bigger table. We're supposed to build a bigger table that makes room for everybody. And we have the evidence of that for today in building a bigger table. We're not supposed to have a tower of champagne glasses that we pour into as it all trickles down. It's all supposed to be in one cup. The communion cup. That we are all one people. It's all poured into one cup. And it's not just money, it's human rights to feel safe. To know you can go to the mall and not get shot. To know that you can go out with friends and not get shot. Other people just want the same thing that we want. And we all drink. It's not about politics. It's about loving people. It's about loving others as we love ourselves. So email me. Email me in our with me and with one another. Talk. We all just want to be safe. Do you know this has become so commonplace in our world that I didn't even tell me we all needed to change our sermons this morning because it's so common. 51 times in 251 times in fewer days, in 215 days. And that's not just 251 people. In the last 2, it's 30 so far. What do we need to feel safe? So email me. We're the people of God, drinking out of one cup. I choose Jesus.